where we share ideas and recipes on how you can stay healthy naturally. And today, I want to share on healthy habits to reduce frequency of illnesses. Yes, you will notice that some people are often sick, whereas some others are not usually sick. Let me quickly share the link for them to join me. And so you are welcome to my healthy food place, where we share ideas and recipes on how you can stay healthy naturally. And so today, I want to share on healthy habits to help reduce frequency of illnesses. Yes, you will observe that some people are usually sick, whereas some other persons also, they hardly get sick. Some are due to habits. And what are habits? Habits are behaviors that you often exhibit, sometimes even unconsciously. Behaviors that are frequently, you are often exhibiting. It can manifest in a lot of ways, and these behaviors are learned. They are repeated over time, and so after repeating them over time, they become your habit. But the thing is, some of the habits are also very, very unhealthy. And in today's talk, we want to talk on the healthy ones. And you know, the exact opposite of habit is unhealthy. And so you can do the mathematics yourself to take out the unhealthy ones. But while trying to also explain point out some of the healthy habits, I will not fail to highlight some of the unhealthy habits also. And guess what? We are also all in habits. We are sometimes almost helpless. Yes, including my humble self. Some of the habits I will be sharing with you, I'm guilty of it. And so, like I already said, these habits, when you repeat it repeatedly, when you exhibit these behaviors over time, it becomes your habit. And some of them affect your health. Not only your health, our health. In more ways. Those who are smoking, for instance, it's unhealthy, they know. But sometimes, because it's become a habit, they can't help it. And so you need to watch and note that if you can write down some of these habits, you can do something about it. Where there is a will, there is always a way, because some of them are affecting our health in a lot of ways, these habits. And I will start with the one I consider very, very important. Yes, that's the first one I'm going to talk about, and that is water therapy. Yes, it again, water therapy. A lot of people are not conscious about it. You must start your morning with water. I'm not going to explain what it is. We already talked about it. But this water thing, you must take it seriously, because it's almost free. And the water therapy of a thing is linked to another very important habit. Some people just wake up, they don't bother about water. They don't bother about the quantity. They just take little water and just go. You must ensure that you take it the right way. The water therapy, you must start it, because it affects your health. It contributes to your well-being. It helps you to heal. It's almost free. Not to say absolutely free, because it's not free to some people, but it's supposed to be free, because if you dig your wells, if you dig the ground very deep, in most places you get water. And water can come through the rain too. It can come through, anyway. but especially when you dig, drink water and other forms of water. It's very abundant. Then the next habit, which is also connected to the water, is watching what goes into your mouth. A lot of people don't worry, they don't bother what go into their mouth. It's a very bad habit. And so the good habit is be mindful of what goes into your mouth. Why? Because you are exactly what you eat. It's what you take into your mouth that your body uses to repair and to heal you. And so if you are in the habit of just popping anything, it's time to stop, because it's what you goes into your mouth that determines how your body heals, how your health, it reflects in your health. It reflects even in your look. What go into your mouth. It's time to stop just taking anything that you see. Even if it's in a party and they serve something that you know is not healthy for you. Just, oh my dear, love and reverend, thank you for that comment. Good morning, God bless you. Thank you so much for being here. I'm glad to have you. And so if you have the habit of watching what go into your mouth, you will hardly be sick. I tell you the truth. It's not just because other people are consuming something and then you just feel to make someone happy, or you feel that everyone is separate. Let's just you need to stop it. That's what the first decision I made was to stop. To take back my health, was to, even the weight gain, was to watch what go into my mouth. You must ask yourself, what is inside this food for me? Some people are bothered about, is it sweet? They complain about garlic is doing this, this one is this. You don't have to bother about how the thing is smelling. Just be mindful of what is inside that food for you. And part of it is the water I'm talking about. Don't just eat anything you see, because your health depends on it. When you see any food, find out, is this food proteinous? Have I had protein today? Is this food carbohydrates? Probably you've already had carbohydrates. Carbohydrates, we know its importance and its risk, especially for older adults. And so you don't have to, just keep, and then anything you see, you eat. A lot of adults are seeing in life. Whether they fried it, you don't care. If it's fried akara or fried plantain, they give you just eat. Little food that you just took, just little, can trigger something very serious inside of your belly. And that's why the first very healthy habit you need to start, even from today, it's never too late, is watching what go into your mouth. This your mouth, what go into it. Very important. Don't just take anything, because when you hear that someone is sick, most times it's what you ate. When people come to me for chat, for guidance, for whatever, the first question I normally ask is, what did you eat for breakfast? What did you eat for lunch? What did you eat at social time? It is based on those indices that I will begin my chat with, because it is those things that you ate that are causing the problem. Even some of the things we call degenerating sicknesses and diseases, they didn't start in one day. They started by habit of eating something, consuming certain foods that are not okay for us. Either we are over consuming it, or we are not even consuming it at all. Some foods are toxic. We just continue to consume it. Some are acidic, and we don't mind whether it's acidic, we just consume it. Some foods are causing high blood pressure for us because of it's being loaded with high sodium. And despite that, all these things, some of you still consume anything because Mr. A is consuming it. Doesn't mean you should go for it. Mr. B is eating it. It doesn't hurt or harm him or her. Doesn't mean you should do the same. Because our blood group are not the same. You need to, start that habit, that good habit of first watching what go into your mouth. Because why? Nobody will do it for you. Nobody is gonna do that for you. You are the one that will monitor what go into your mouth. Nobody is going to monitor it for you. And so that is why you need to start immediately, because this one is absolutely within your reach. It's not something someone else. It's not something that is expensive. Some people, when we talk about food, healthy food, we say you need to buy almond, you need to buy this, or you need to eat this. Oh, some people say, I can't afford it. Oh, some people say, oh, it's too expensive. Oh, some people say, it's not even available. I have the money, but it's not available. But when you talk of habit, it's absolutely within your reach. Only you can do it. Nobody can do it for you. That is exactly the point. Nobody. That habit, you formed it to eat whatever you see. You don't care. You don't mind what is in it. Whether it's nutritious, whether it's acidic, whether it's toxic, whether it's, you just take it. Whether it's proteinous, it's high in sugar, just let something go into the stomach. My dear, it's time to stop. And this message is not only for the older people. We need to teach our children too. Because sometimes we focus on ourselves because we are already having some health challenges. But I think it's time we start to let the children also stop all those acidic foods. Tell them to our children and to our grandchildren. They don't just go to school or go to any place and focus on only sweet and sugary pastries. They just focus on those things that are sweet. I know of a young child. I know of someone, a young child, less than 7 years, who does not like sweet things. I mean, anything sweet. Wow. I was amazed. I asked the mom. He said, no, she won't take it. It's sweet. I said, why? She doesn't like sweet things. My God. I was so challenged by this. And you guess what? It's a habit. She learned it. It taught her that sweet foods are not good for you. And she began to live that life. And so when you bring something that is so sweet, she won't like it. That's a good habit. And we can teach that to our children. To start to detest sugary foods, sugary drinks. Because sugary foods and drinks are not your friends. So by the time you start to educate these upcoming children like that, their mindset about sweetness begins to change. They begin to reason that sweet foods are not good for them. And they will even carry this message to their friends. And so when their friends are consuming sweet foods, they will run away and tell their friend, this thing is poisonous. You see how the society begins to become healthy because you are doing your job. Because of because of the fact that you have realized that what goes into your mouth matters a lot. You don't have to take anything. Minding what goes into your mouth is very important. It's a very good habit. You need to not only imbibe this habit, but teach it to your children. Teach them to your grandchildren. right from the cradle. Let them know that they should be mindful of what go into their mouth. They shouldn't just take anything, maybe because it's free. Yes, some people love free foods a lot. Some people have been caught up in that trap of free something. Maybe because they shared the something and it was, and then because it's free, we cannot resist the temptation. Some of us are into it. But if you have learned to be mindful of what go into your mouth, there are sometimes, I tell you the truth, sometimes I've been caught up in it. I won't lie to you. It's not as if because I'm teaching you, I'm 100% free of it. No. There are some times after having a particular meal, sometimes it has happened before, but let me just bring it in. It's a real life experience. And then after having my dinner, someone comes in. My spouse comes in with nkwabi and pepper soup. Some of the things that we hardly see. And everybody is, rushing for it. I've already closed for the day. Don't want to eat anything. But because of long throat, you see what I'm talking about. So you can't say I'm a saint in this regard. Because of long throat, some of you are guilty. You know what I'm talking. You know the long throat thing. Because of long throat, I'll go and take it. And guess what? After taking that particular pepper soup or whatever, it could be anything. It could just be anything, but something that you are been craving for, you have been longing for, something that is not a regular delicacy in the home. Let me put it that way. And somebody just brings it in, and everybody is taking, and you are not mindful of what goes into your mouth. You just go and take small long throat and eat. And while everybody are busy sleeping, problem starts with your own, because bodies are not the same. Thank you. What do you think about Islam? Okay, leave that. Okay, so you begin to worry about, your own food that you've had begins to give you trouble. You begin to, grumble, your stomach begin to trouble you, and sometimes some people may not be lucky. Life is precious. Some people may not be lucky. Sometimes it could start producing gas. Yes, gas. Ordinary gas. Stomach gas can take somebody away. And that's why we must be careful of what go into our mouth. The first and very important habit. I'm not going to exhaust this topic today as it is, so I'll be here again tomorrow. I'm likely to be here again tomorrow at about the same time to talk about this, to continue on this subject. So please take this as a notice, because I'm not going to exhaust this topic on healthy habits that will help to prevent frequency of illnesses. So you get yourself prepared. If you are interested in these habits, it's what is working for me. Though there are few occasions when we fall into the trap, like I already explained. But please, the first very important habit you must imbibe is watching what go into your mouth. Yes, that is very, very important. When you talk of diabetes, it's from what we eat. When you talk of high blood pressure, habit, it's not only, the habit is not only about what you eat, it could also be when you go to bed. And I'm taking us to the next one. I might have to be interchanging it, but the next healthy habit you must imbibe is not going to bed immediately after food. It's the next habit. I'm interchanging it. No, sometimes you could be very tired. It's very, very tempting sometimes. You are really tired and you've had some kind of meal and the temptation to sleep comes. My dear, don't sleep. Some people have that habit, and that's one of the secrets why a lot of people are gaining weight. They can't control the weight gain. They just leave themselves carelessly after food. The blood sugar begins to rise. And there is something I want to reveal to you in case you don't know it. And that is the fact that most times when you finish having your meal and there is that sudden urge, especially a heavy meal, to sleep, my dear, it is that very type of sleep you need to get, because most times it may be insulin resistance. This is something I learned over the years. The brain may want to switch off, and so you start feeling sleepy, thinking that it's a good one. It's not a good one. I've had some attacks. I don't want to say spiritual attack. It's not spiritual attacks, but it's health related because of this habit of just trying to go to bed immediately after food. It's a bad habit. Some people are in it and still in it. Resist it. Don't go to bed after food. It's a bad habit. The temptation to go to bed after food immediately sometimes may be an indication that the brain wants to switch off. Now, are you also aware that when you are very hungry, let me give you the two extremes. You may not have read it anywhere. I didn't read it anywhere, but from my own practical experience, I learned it. Now, if you are very hungry, when your sugar drops, guess what? The brain wants to switch off. You start feeling sleepy. Some of you who are scientists may be able to confirm this thing, but I tell you, it is the truth. When you're totally deficient of sugar, sometimes when I'm in the church and I have not had my breakfast, for instance, and the message is taking long, sometimes I start like, maybe I've been hungry while sitting down. Maybe it's already 12, 1 o'clock, and I'm hungry, nothing in the stomach. And that sudden dosing start coming. My dear, sugar don't drop. Sugar is already dropped, not even dropping. The brain is already deficient of sugar. And so it's about to switch off. It's not good. It comes with weakness. And now the other extreme of it is when the food is too much. Two extremes that the brain hates. And when it's confronted, this is my own something I found out. You may need to go study and do more study on it, but that's something I found. Now, at one time when the brain is overwhelmed with food and the food is much and the sugar is even much, especially carbohydrates, guess what? It wants to switch off. So you start feeling sleepy. You think saying a better sleep this catch you. No, it's not a good sleep. It's a time to stand up and resist it. Some people can just sleep like that. The sugar start rising, especially for pre-diabetics, and they go into coma. And they say he's sleeping. I've heard cases like that. These are bad habits. It can claim lives. It has claimed and still claiming. And so, but if you're educated, you will know. Some people combine some unhealthy foods together. And after taking it, pre-diabetic, some people are not pre-diabetic, and the brain is overwhelmed with the carbohydrates. It can't handle it. The next thing is, it wants to switch off. You start feeling sleepy. My dear, stand up. Don't sleep that sleep. It's not a good sleep. There are good sleep. Thank you, my love. Val Elsie. Good morning, dear lady. You're welcome. So when the brain is on those two extremes, it wants to switch off. When you are so hungry, I gave you my own example, like when I'm in church and the message I've not had any breakfast and it's taking long. The next thing is, after being so tired, so hungry, the next step, want to doze off. That is weakness. The sugar has dropped. And sometimes, you know what? I normally stand up and go get something and put something in my mouth. Or sometimes I carry something in the bag. Small thing like cashew nuts. I need to tell you. So when he starts doing like he wants to switch off, sugar has dropped. Take something and put. I do it. So you can steal it too because you are here and start doing like that. So don't just sleep. It's not good. It's a sign that the sugar level has dropped. Just the way the brain also wants to switch off when you have eaten too much. No, that eating too much is not, you may not even eat too much, but the brain is overwhelmed with either the carbohydrates in the food. It's not something that we can say we are so perfect, it can't happen to us, my dear. But if you want to learn the healthy habit, you can control it in a way. You can control it. You can control it, be mindful of the risk that it comes with. Now, if you are educated and you are knowledgeable, because knowledge is power, it's empowerment, and you know that it's risky, after eating, you don't have to go to bed immediately. It's a bad habit. Some diabetics can go into coma from there, and they sleep for days. No, I've seen some sleep for 2-3 days, never wake up. All efforts to get them to wake up is a problem. And the last food they ate, I inquired. Guess what? They ate something like moi moi and pap, or something like beans and pap, or something like beans and yam. That's ignorance. They combine two high carbohydrates food together, and they gave to a pre-diabetic with the hope that the beans is a high protein food, not knowing that the beans itself is high in carbohydrates. And so by the time it gets into the body, the two carbohydrates combined together may be overwhelming for a diabetic or pre-diabetic. And after consuming such food, maybe in the morning, the person is about to sleep. My dear, that's not a good one. So that's a bad habit. Resist the temptation to sleep immediately after meal. Even if the pressure is there, resist it because it's risky. I have seen people, diabetics, go into coma because they went to bed immediately. Immediately they finish the meal, they say, the next minute that, go check the blood sugar of that person. You will agree with what I'm saying. Maybe it's quite high because of that meal, and he wants to go to bed immediately. So you must resist that temptation of going to bed immediately. So I'll give us the last one because the next one is skipping your breakfast. Another bad habit, but it's a good habit to have a good, remember we're talking about good habit. And I said you cannot talk about good habit without interlocking with the bad habit, because that's exactly the opposite. So the habit of having a good breakfast, and I'm going to explain. Just hold on, let me explain. Because when we talk about breakfast, it's not just wake up, go to the kitchen and prepare something and have something, not at all. Now, the first main meal that you have, it could be by 10, by 11, by 12. I don't have a specific time for breakfast. It depends on when you woke up. But my suggestion and advice, based on my own experience, is that at least 3-4 hours after waking up, your body should be, after being active, your body should be expecting something to run the day. Just work on it like that, you notice it. 3-4 hours, it depends on when you woke up. So the idea of saying you must have breakfast before 10 o'clock, or you have it before 9 or before 10 or before 8, I don't have a specific time for breakfast. Breakfast depends on when you woke up. But my own advice is, after waking up, whether you woke up by 8 a.m. or you woke up by 7 a.m., you could wake up by 4 a.m. So by 7:30 or 8 a.m., you should be hungry. And so there is no timetable I'm giving you, because that's how I operate. So the habit of having a good breakfast, that first meal that you're going to have, about 4 hours about that after waking up, you've had your water therapy, you've had whatever you want to have, whether it's spice or whatever. Okay, very interesting. Yes, I said I'm going to continue it. Thank you so much. A very stubborn one. Thinks he can eat everything and refuse to listen to my, oh my God. Thank you so much. I share your listening too. Yes, there's a lot of them are like that. But you are going to continue to encourage him. That's what I do. Most men are careless about all of these things, but we continue to support and encourage them. And so, as I was saying now, the carbohydrate, the breakfast is something that is very good. And I'm going to explain to you also about this breakfast thing. Now, I've tried to live without by skipping breakfast. And I've also tried to live eating breakfast. Too heavy one is bad. I've been caught up in both of them. That's why I want to talk about it. It's a bad habit to skip it completely. It's also a bad habit to have a very heavy one. Now, if after waking up, like I said, depends on when you woke up and started your activity. So by the time you have been active for like 4 hours, you should be hungry. Your body should be ready. That's after water therapy and the rest. And so the first thing you're going to eat that time is what I call breakfast. After you woke up in the long night of sleep. Now, that food is the fuel that the body needs to run the day. And it's expected that you include fat, healthy fats there. If after eating that food and you check, there's nothing like fats, a few hours later, you're gonna be hungry. And so you can still include the fats. Now, if you have the habit of skipping breakfast, I'll tell you my experience trying to skip breakfast. And guess what? It's all about weight loss. Some of us were so weighty, so big. We tried everything to lose weight. But I tell you, when the healthy life came as I'm living, as it is today, the weight loss came on its own, willingly. I didn't have to work anymore for it. It came. In fact, it was even too much. The weight loss became too much that I started to work to gain some weight, because too much weight loss is not good. And so that first meal of the day is important after waking up, like 3-4 hours. In those days when I used to, especially if you are going through insomnia, please, some of the things I'm telling you, you may not see it anywhere. It's not something I want to boast about, not at all. Not boasting about it. It's something practically I have known. I've helped people with it too. Some people are going through insomnia. They are not been sleeping. It's common with women. It happened to men. I've had cases of men who also suffer it. Highly educated too. Now, some of them are due to ignorance. You're skipping your breakfast. Yes, breakfast is the fuel. When you want to start a car, for instance, you want to go on a journey. That's how the morning is. You want to start the journey for the day. And not having your breakfast is like running your car without fuel in the morning. You just carry the car, they go. That is how it is. And the best fuel is those that come from fiber and healthy fats, especially those who are either diabetic or. Now, you are talking about oats for breakfast. Oat is also high in carbohydrates. You must add some nuts. And sometimes you need to, if you want to add, and oat is mildly inflammatory. Yes, I've had oat. Oh, hey God, my people, I don't take oats. Oats show me self. So when I'm saying certain things, I really chop this oats. I ate oats until the traces of gluten. It was then I found out that some oats have traces of gluten. Gluten is not your friend, but that's not the topic today. Oats don't show me. My whole house was full of oat packets. This was about 10 or more years ago. So it's not something that happened today. That didn't mean that I'm not longer taking oat. Oat is good, especially because of the soluble and insoluble fiber. Oat is good because of the fact that it helps with those managing high bad cholesterol. It's one of the foods I recommend for them. It has a good fiber to help drag cholesterol out of the body. But it's high in carbohydrates. You need to add other things to it. That's how I do now. When I want to make oat, now some people suggest, anyway, remember let's not divert. I'm trying to attend to this, your comment. But it's not going to take us out totally, out of the, because I'll be here again tomorrow. Because I can't finish the discussion on these healthy foods. Probably it may last for 3 days. Because I know how important it is. What we eat, habits. Habit is not something you buy with money. Yes, you can say you don't have money to buy certain food that are too expensive, but not habits. Habit is purely your own. You form the habit. You started it gradually. You built on it. You repeated it again and again. Only you. Nobody else but who? You. And that's why we must pay attention to the subject of habits. I have said I'm not innocent of the habits. I have some of the habits. Yes, I have some. Nobody can absolutely say it's free. There's no negative habit, not at all. Some of the things I talk about, I tell you, I'm guilty of it. Some. But being mindful is good. Being educated and knowledgeable is good. So that even if you are having some symptoms or some other thing, you will be able to understand what is going on. Because if you are ignorance is very bad. That's why I talk about that of sleep. Because as I'm led to talk, sometimes I don't plan it, but as I'm led to speak, I believe God is helping me to speak exactly what you need, to tell you what you need. And as I speak to you, I speak to myself too. I benefit. Yes, because what I talk, I didn't write down or say, plan a whole, this is what I'm going to be saying, talking about. But prayerfully, as I do, God will guide me to to touch on the areas that you need. He said, listen to you. Please continue. I am learning lots from you. Thank you so much. And I'm happy that you are commenting and you are always there, because your being there makes me happy to be here too. And so, like I'm saying, I have said that skipping your breakfast is having a good breakfast is a healthy thing. Don't eat too much heavy breakfast. I've done it before. And I know the consequence. Now, don't also skip it. I've done that. I've done both. So when you skip breakfast, especially the females, it affects them a lot. Some people are suffering not sleeping. Now, not sleeping started by skipping your breakfast. It started by what you had in the morning. especially the females, the women. We have a gland, the pituitary gland. I don't think men have it. Our body is unique. There are some things in the female body that is not in the male body. And so when in those days, I normally try to skip breakfast because I don't want to be too big, too obese. Later in the evening, I will be feeling hotness. It doesn't happen to some people. That's why I say, be mindful of what you eat. I'll be feeling hotness in the head. I won't be able to sleep. Though I'll eat very well in the evening, but you haven't prepared for the journey. You haven't prepared the brain. The brain has to do. A lot of work has to go on. Sleep is not something that you just put your head and you're sleeping. Something takes place before you didn't buy the fuel. Let me put it. And even if you bought the fuel, you didn't buy a good one. And you know the good fuel. The good fuel are healthy fats. There are some times I decided to eat something. I'm going to share it here because it's me. Because I want to lose weight. So I decided to eat bitter cola in the morning so that it will help me not to eat, because I was told it helps you not to have appetite. You know, it's a source of caffeine. So after having my bitter cola on empty stomach, it's a good food though. You can go to my channel and see I talk good. It's once in a while wonderful, can save your life, but I made the mistake. Some of these mistakes are what I bring in when I talk here. So I want to have it on empty stomach because I want to lose weight. Because our head is a healthy nut. It's good. Bitter cola. Very good one. After taking it in the night, brain dey hot. This brain, very hot oh. It's not something, don't joke with some of the foods. They are very strong. Brain dey hot. No sleep. Not that the food is bad, but I bought the wrong fuel. The brain needs to run on healthy fats. And so I don't make that mistakes again. Oat is a good breakfast. Cashew nuts are good. All the nuts are good. They have good fat. The brain runs and communicates with fat. So if you're having problems sleeping, have a good breakfast. Don't overeat. Don't run empty. Don't run the car. The car will be overheated. When we talk of overheating in car, it happens with human beings. I am a living example. If we have up to 500 women to ask this question, at least a few of them will share the same experience that I have. If they ever tried consuming bitter cola on empty stomach, it's a wrong fuel in the morning. Don't buy the wrong fuel. And that takes us to the next one. Don't skip your dinner. And after this one, I will leave the for tomorrow because I do not intend to stay too long here for some reasons that I know about. Tomorrow we'll continue it. You remember to be here, buy your data and be around, because exactly that time, 9:30, I'll be here again. Now, I'm taking us to the last one for the healthy habit. It's a healthy habit. Have a very good dinner comprising of leafy greens, comprising of healing spices like garlic. Yes, some garlic, ginger, turmeric, small, especially garlic, because it helps with high bad cholesterol, because it supports your heart. So use them and they bring out the natural taste in your mouth. Add sea salt, the best food in the evening. Because when you skip your dinner, I've tried that too. It's like you didn't either you didn't buy fuel in the morning, not having your breakfast, like not buying fuel or buying the wrong fuel. Then not for the dinner, not having your dinner is like not taking your car to mechanic. Never ever. I remember I don't joke with taking my car for servicing. I don't do all of that these days because of so many factors. Most times I don't. But I tell you, several years back when I was always on the highway, with my car, express road, I don't joke with servicing my car because I've experienced a brake failure before. If you don't service your car, that is what happens when you go to bed without a good dinner. It's a good habit, my dear. No matter what, don't joke with your dinner, because your body uses those things you brought in to work and to repair. Yes, to work and to repair. Repair work is going on. Oh. The car don't go mechanic. Everything will be fixed when you are sleeping. Okay, somebody is saying, tell her about your diabetes. Thank you, ma. You may need to be here tomorrow. I've said, okay, the healthy fats. I'm surprised this question is coming from you. Healthy fats. Anyway, I will say it because you are here. At least I'm here to serve you. Healthy fats like avocados, cold pressed coconut oil. Healthy fats like olive oil, organic peanut oil or peanuts. Walnut is a healthy fat. Healthy fats like macadamia nuts, a lot of the nuts. Sesame seeds is a healthy fat. It contains very good fat, one of the best fats. And so most of the naturally occurring fats, they are healthy fats. Though some are healthier than others. There's one fat that I tried some time ago, but I didn't like the effect on my body. So some are actually healthier. They have more healing properties. So you need to choose and know the one that you are going for. I will be here, like I said, tomorrow. Tomorrow being 12th December, at about this time, to continue on this subject. You don't have to skip your dinner. If you want to heal, if you want to deal with diabetes, if you want to deal with arthritis. Now, how did I come to know about this? I've also tried to skip dinner because I want to lose weight. This weight loss, not be small thing, no. This was several years ago. But today, weight loss is not an issue for me again because the weight loss is even going down almost like daily. Okay, I'm almost rounding up. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. I love you. So, when you have a good dinner, it's like you've taken your car to the mechanic. He's going to work on it. He's going to fix a lot of things. Some of the things that you didn't know were wrong with you. Your body will detect them while you are sleeping and deal with it. Even your cholesterol, it won't go down if you're not sleeping. It's during sleep that the work is done. If you have any ailment, whether it's stomach ulcer, it won't heal. Whether it's blood pressure, it won't settle unless you sleep. Sleep is the mechanic. You don't carry the motor go mechanic, may work on it. And so if you are using your car and you don't ever go to mechanic, that is very bad. It's a bad habit. Because the day the brake will fail, you won't know. The day something will happen, they won't notify you. That is how our body is. And I said earlier, I will be rounding up on this dinner issue. And I want to appreciate all of you. Some of you are still there. I want to, hello, and okay. Some of you are still there. And I already promised that I will not be long in this life. I intend to make it short, but please do me a favor. Be here tomorrow about this time. because this same subject, I want to talk on it for at least 3 days. Healthy habits to help you reduce frequency of illnesses. And the last one we just talked this evening is, right now is the dinner. Stop skipping your dinner. Whether you're skipping it for weight loss, whether you're skipping it for whatever reason, but most times people are skipping it for weight loss. I've heard people say, don't eat dinner. Not dinner again. I need to throw some more light before we go. Dinner is not late food. It's always, you can have it 4:30, you can have it 4 p.m., you can have it 3:30, you can have it 5 p.m., but not after 6 p.m. It's not good. Yes, we need to hear this one too. You don't have to go for heavy dinner. Okay, this is Nigeria. Okay, you are in UK. This is Nigeria. That's where I'm speaking from. And so check the time difference. At about this time, I'll be here again because a lot of questions are coming up and will still come up on it. And it's very, very crucial for us to know the healthy foods, healthy habits that are affecting us, because you cannot buy this. You didn't buy the habits with money, so it doesn't require money. So nobody says, I don't have the money to buy it. We made the habit, we formed the habit, we are living with it, we repeated it, they became part of us, and so we can equally stop it. That's the point here. And on this note, I want to say thank you all for coming. See you again tomorrow. Appreciate you. We'll continue from dinner, the healthy habits and the type of dinner. The things that should feature in a good dinner to help your body to heal. Most likely that's where we start from tomorrow. Thank you all for coming. Bye. Thank you.